Sala kolihle uma uhamba ngana yile fana wami ngiyakuthanda.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, our esteemed stakeholders. May I please have your attention? Siyabonga kakhulu. My name is Machogoza Twala. I work for the Municipal Council of Manzini as Information and Communications Officer. My task this morning is a simple one, a bit challenging too. It is that of directing proceedings of this meeting. First of all, I'd like to apologize for the late start, but I promise that we shall stick to the time that we have set, and surely by 10:30 we'll be out of this meeting. Before we go any further with the program, I would like to request Pastor Oyinloye from the Redeemed Christian Church to please open our meeting for us with a word of prayer. Thank you.
Lord Jesus. We thank you, Almighty God, for the kingdom of Eswatini. And thank you in particular for this municipality that really grateful to you for what you have been doing. Thank you for the peace that has been reigning in the kingdom and in this particular municipality. Lord, we are gathered this morning again to look into what you have done and to appreciate you for what you will still do. Holy Spirit, we commit this meeting to your hands. Please have your way in this meeting. Glorify your name in this meeting. Let everything that will be done to bring honor unto you alone in the name of Jesus. Thank you, Father, because you have answered. And every member, Lord, of the team that will be presenting, Father, please speak through them. That by the time everything will be over, everyone will say of a truth, you have been our God. Thank you because you have answered. In Jesus' mighty name, we have prayed. We therefore declare the meeting open in the name of God the Father, in the name of God the Son, in the name of God the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you very much, Pastor, for opening for us with a word of prayer. Without a waste of time, esteemed stakeholders, I'd like to do quick introductions so that we know who is here amongst us this morning. I would like to start by appreciating and recognizing the presence of His Worship, the Mayor of Manzini, Councillor Quintin Els. Councillor is also responsible for Ward 10 in the city of Manzini, that being Courts Valley. Please rise, worship, so that we can all clap for you. A round of applause for the mayor, please. Thank you very much. May I also introduce Councillor for Ward 8 in the city of Manzini, that being Councillor Jabu Shiba, who represents Madonsa, Extension 6, and Thomas Dale in the city of Manzini. Tananaye, may we please give her a round of applause. We also have amongst us esteemed stakeholders, Councillor representing Ward 9 in the city of Manzini, that being Moneni, Inyoni Park, and Masegweni. His name is Councillor Henry Gunene. A round of applause to the councillor. May we also give a hand clap to Councillor responsible for Ward 4 in the city of Manzini, that being Ngwane Park Township, Ngwane Park Extension, Sihlahleni, Ndombu Township, Tangweni. His name is Councillor Siboniso Nkabinde. Nana, may I please give him. I'd also like to recognize Councillor Wesley Dlamini, who represents Ward 6 in the city of Manzini, that being Woodmasters. Some of us refer to it as Grand Valley or GV. May I please give him a round of applause. Councillor Wesley is also chairperson for the Finance Committee within Council. I'd also like to appreciate and recognize the presence of Councillor responsible for Ward 2 in the city of Manzini, Councillor Mduduzi Villani. Councillor Villani is responsible for Tiloni Park, the Nazarene Mission, and the area around Sopuza Clinic. May I also, esteemed stakeholders, recognize the presence of our CEO, Mage Lungile Dlamini. May we please give a round of applause as well. She's not alone. We also have members of management, executive management amongst us. We have the Director of Finance, Mr. Mfanafuti Mamba. May he also stand so that we can clap for him. Also amongst us, we have Corporate Services Director, Mr. Zweli Mapanga. I'm sorry, Community Services Director, Mr. Zweli Mapang. I'm so sorry, I forgot to mention that the Finance Director is also acting as Corporate Services Director. Sorry about that one. Also amongst us, we have a Director, Technical Services, Mr. Matota Dlamini. May we give a hand of applause. We also have amongst us our Head of Strategy, Mr. Sizwe Dlamini. May we please also appreciate him with a hand of applause. Honorable Mayor, I would like to recognize the presence of the stakeholders that are here with us this morning. We have members of Parliament, who are members of the Minister of Housing and Urban Development Portfolio Committee in Parliament. Amongst us, we have MP Nganyeti Ngwenya, ngicela simshayele tandla nanaye. We also have MP Manzizwane. May we give him a hand clap as well. Also amongst us, we have MP Michael Masugu. May we give him a round of applause. Thank you very much, honorable ones. We really, really appreciate your presence in this meeting. We also have amongst us the Undersecretary for the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, Magehlobisile Dlamini. May we give a round of applause. Also amongst us, we have the Director of Urban Government in the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, Mr. Tito Simelane. May we also give him a round of applause. Siyabonga kakhulu, Mngoni. We also have a number of stakeholders representing different institutions in the city of Manzini and beyond the city of Manzini. But before I recognize them, I would like to humbly recognize and appreciate, extremely appreciate the presence of the Manzini Regional Administrator, Umvanengosi Chief Gija. Ngicela nana simshayele tandla bekunene. Siyabonga kakhulu. I'll just quickly recognize the stakeholders who are here with us this morning. We have amongst us the CEO for Matapa Town Council, Babe Sugati. Please stand, Babe. I know that some people wish to meet you after this event. We also have with us representatives from the Eswatini Water Services Corporation. Also amongst us, we have representatives from Inyati Construction. We also have amongst us representatives from the Public Transport Association. Also amongst us, we have someone who's representing the Ministry of Agriculture, Siyabonga kakhulu. We also have amongst us a representative of the Eswatini Youth Council. Also amongst us, we have a representative from FESBIC, that being the Federation of Eswatini Business Community. We also have representatives from the Council of Churches. Also amongst us, we have a representative from Green Pastures. We also have amongst us a representative from the Nazarene Mission, which falls under Ward 2. Also amongst us, we have a representative from Eswatini Revenue Services. We also have amongst us a representative from the Tourism Authority, Eswatini Tourism Authority. We also have amongst us a representative from Lulama Clinic, one of the clinics in the city of Manzini. Also amongst us, we have a representative from Buy and Save Spa in the city of Manzini. We also have amongst us a representative from Swazi Apply Lab. And of course, with a representative from the Redeemed Christian Church, one of the churches which have a presence in the city of Manzini. I know that I may not have recognized everyone yet, but I shall do so as we proceed with the program. In the interest of time, esteemed stakeholders, I would like to invite His Worship, the Honorable Mayor, to come forward and welcome us to this meeting. May we give him a round of applause as he takes the podium. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Program Director. Program Director, Manzini Regional Administrator, Panengos Kicha, Housing and Urban Development Parliament Portfolio Committee, Honorable Members of Parliament present, Ministry of Housing and Urban Development Representative, Captains of Industry present, our esteemed stakeholders, Deputy Mayor, Honorable Council present, Manzini Council CEO and Management Team, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's an honor and privilege for me to once again stand before you, our esteemed stakeholders, and say a few remarks during this important meeting, wherein we are gathered to reflect and give account on our performance during the year 2021 to 2022. Valued stakeholders, I am proud to mention that since the year 2017, when we came into council, we have always pegged this meeting as one of our highest priorities. More so because we understand and appreciate the importance of accountability and transparency as a good governance principle. That is the reason we have always looked forward to this meeting. It is also the reason we remain humbled and most appreciative to all of you for making time off your busy schedules to be with us this morning. Without your attendance, we would not have this meeting. Esteemed stakeholders, towards the end of the year under review, we witnessed easing of most of the COVID-19 restrictions by the central government. As a result, we took a decision to review the city's 2019 to 2024 Integrated Development Plan, that is the IDP, so that our planned service delivery projects and programs remained relevant to the needs of the communities we serve. I'm happy to report that following the review of the IDP, we have already managed to deliver some of the capital projects and programs which form part of the reviewed IDP. In her presentation, the CEO will elaborate on this aspect. I would like to express our most sincere appreciation to our parent ministry, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, for its relentless support as we developed innovative strategies to deliver these projects. Esteemed stakeholders, this marks our last year in office as councillors. It is true that when COVID-19 virus struck, most of our city development plans for the 5-year period were disrupted. However, we are happy that we leave office already back on our feet. As council, we remain confident that the city's vision of being a vibrant African city that innovatively provides quality services and economic opportunities to its stakeholders is still alive and achievable. We trust that the next council will take the baton and continue where we left off. Our ultimate goal is a better quality of life for citizens of our city. In accordance with goal number 11, 2030 global goals. And goal number 11 in particular speaks to sustainable cities and communities. Program Director, I intend not to make a long speech. However, it would be folly of me not to recognize and appreciate the support that we received from our stakeholders throughout our 5-year period in office. Through your consistent service delivery reviews, you have challenged us to stretch ourselves and strive to deliver against all odds. May I also express our most sincere appreciation to the management and staff of the Municipal Council of Manzini for supporting us and making our work easy as we performed our oversight role. Give them a round of applause. With these brief remarks, I would like to welcome all of you to the vibrant city of Manzini and to the 2022 annual general meeting.
Another round of applause to the mayor. Thank you so much, Your Worship, for welcoming us to this meeting. By the way, esteemed stakeholders, I forgot to mention that this meeting is being streamed live on YouTube as well as Facebook. Our Facebook page is Municipal Council of Manzini. We also have a link that we can share with you if you don't have it already. If you wish to share it with anyone and everyone, please get in touch with CC Lapa Langelihle. She will share the link with you so that you forward it to your colleagues at work or your relatives at home. I can see that already we have quite a number of viewers on the live stream, and would like to greet them all and thank them for taking time and making time to follow this meeting through that technology. Thank you very much, Honorable Mayor. Before I request the CEO to come forward, I would like to recognize the presence of more stakeholders who have joined us. We have amongst us Councillor Ketogu Dlamini, who represents Ward 11 in the city of Manzini, that being extension 7. Some of us refer to it as Wilma Park. May we please give him a round of applause. We also have amongst us a representative from Lifespan. I'm sure we all know Lifespan by now. May we please give a round of applause. Someone is whispering, is saying thanks to COVID-19. We also have amongst us a representative of the Manzini Regional Football Association. Also amongst us, we have a representative of Eswatini Business Health. We also have a representative of the Voice of the Church amongst us in this gathering. Also amongst us, we have a representative of Swaziland Building Society, or is it Eswatini Building Society. Also amongst us, we have a representative of the African Alliance. Let's give them one big round of applause, and we'd like to welcome all of them to this meeting. Without a waste of time, I would like to request the CEO of the Municipal Council of Manzini, Magalungile Dlamini, to come forward. Magalungile is going to give us an overview of how we performed in the last financial year, that being the 2021-2022 financial year. May we please welcome her with a round of applause. Thank you.
Good morning. Ngicela ukunivusela this morning. Program Director, Manzini Regional Administrator, Housing and Urban Development Parliamentary Portfolio Committee members that are present, the Ministry of Housing's representatives that are present, captains of industry present, our esteemed stakeholders, the mayor, the deputy mayor, our honorable councillors, our management team and the team of the city, members of the media, as well as our sister city in the US that is currently with us watching virtually, the city of Lancaster. We greet you. We also greet all our global partners that are watching virtually right now all over the world, and we'd like to say good day because it's not morning everywhere. I'd like to take this opportunity to present to you an overview, as the mayor has stated, of what we've been working on the last financial year, which is a report of the 2021 and 2022. The outline of my overview will follow a structured way, in that I'll highlight an introduction, and then there'll be a strategic intent, Then there'll be like a synopsis and overview of the year. Then financial statements will then be presented by our Director of Finance. I hope our presentation will be engaging. I should state that in front of you, you do have a copy of our report to follow as well. And you also, I think you have a soft copy. It might be on your WhatsApp or your email. So my presentation will just include all a synopsis of what's in the report. I'd like to start by first appreciating. I'd like to first express my appreciation to Council for their continued support for me and my team, as well as they've been there as we try and thrive through difficult times for us to be able to service deliver. I won't stop by also appreciating the Lord for being with us throughout. The support of stakeholders has been enormous. I'd like to thank the Manzini residents and other stakeholders for their cooperation, their understanding, and continued support for the municipality. It's never easy. We never agree on everything, but thank you for your support. The purpose of this meeting today is that the municipality provides an opportunity to share to stakeholders the organizational performance and to account on financial performance and all other activities that have been happening during the time. But before I continue, I'd like to state to the meeting today that as a CEO or town clerk of the city, I'd like to state that we'd like to maintain the confidence of our elected officials always. And we are committed as a team and staff that we would like to win the trust of our residents. We'd like to also win the trust of our partners. And all we want as a team is to effectively deal with very complex issues that we come across with and we face as a municipality. I would personally like to state that I became a town clerk about 10 years ago. And during the time, it was hard times of the municipality. It was a time whereby there were many challenges. You can call them 11 million, you can call a challenge, you can call him satellite bus rank movement challenges, but there were many challenges. But through the work of council, we've been able to take this opportunity and make major structural and cultural changes for the city to thrive in the future difficult times. So as I continue with the purpose of this meeting, why we are here and why we account on an annual basis is to just ensure that we continue moving with you and that you should know that we'll do everything that we can do, then leave the rest to God. So the purpose of this meeting is to account, as I had said, and the mandate that we have is that throughout 2021-2022 financial year, the municipality managed to ensure that its mandate of delivering services to the community of Manzini continues. Our strategic intent as a municipality is guided solely by the integrated development plan and the strategy to provide services while also facilitating sustainable development of the city. Our vision is to have a vibrant African city that innovatively provides quality services and economic opportunities for our stakeholders. So we hope that we are, and we know actually that we are living up to our vision. Our mission is to provide quality municipal services and that add value to all our customers. As you are sitting here, you are all our customers through good governance and partnering with you. And our values. Our values are simple. They lay the foundation of what we really care about as the municipality. So what we really care about as a municipality right now is innovation, being able to innovate solutions in difficult times. Accountability, which is why we are here to this morning, is to account. We need to be able to be transparent and to account for all we do on your behalf. Integrity is also key, because as we stand in front of you, like I'm standing in front of you this morning, I must be a person of integrity, and the operations of council should be guided by integrity. Inclusion, we want to ensure that we include all of you in whatever and everything that we do. Our strategic thematic areas, these are the strategic themes. These are areas that have been chosen by us as an organization to ensure that we excel in achieving our vision. And these are institutional capacity development and growth, strategic management, urban planning and sustainable human settlements, sustainable environmental management, integrated economic development, integrated infrastructure development. All those are themes that we currently are working on. Through our strategic and policy environment, in order to be able to deliver all the thematic strategic areas, we need to have a sound foundation of strategy and policy environment. Firstly, we have internal audits. So during the year that we are accounting for, we did facilitate for internal audits that covered governance, systems within the municipality, and human resources review. Other governance initiatives are the assessment that was done using an ELGP assessment, whereby we scored 85%. A governance assessment, which is an assessment that assesses the performance of council during the year. The score we got there was 84%. We also managed to facilitate for the budget process through research and global and national factors that influence our budget. We don't just budget, but a lot of research goes into what's prevailing regionally and globally and nationally. We have a capital improvement program. It was developed and it was submitted to the ministry on time. We also had a stakeholder budget submission meeting. It was, I'd say, on average, well attended, whereby we had 56 stakeholders and 36 submissions were made. These are very important meetings, stakeholders. Please do attend, even if you don't come personally. We'd like you to email us what you'd like to see us do on an annual basis. As part of the strategic and policy framework, we had an IDP midterm review. We started off by conducting, the aim was to ensure that we remain relevant. As we had stated that through COVID, all our plans were disrupted. So we needed to come back and sit and ensure that we align with what's prevailing, be it resources, be it the needs of the city, because post-COVID, we are all different as a global world. This resulted in the reprioritization of programs and projects due to the pandemic. We also are quite busy with PPPs, private public partnerships and PFI initiatives. Because as you remember, I did state that innovation is part of one of our values. We've had to innovate special PPPs and PFIs to be able to deliver services under a very challenging economic climate. So we've explored quite a number of solutions to be able to deliver for the city. What I can say is that so far, so good. We've been successful in that. We've been able to, firstly, finalize Fairview Mixed Use Commercial Center. It will be coming up at Fairview. There we entered into a PPP, an arrangement with Inyatsi Group. I should say that it went through procurement, worked with the development partner to conclude all project agreements. This project is going to be funded by Eswatini Bank, and negotiations for better conditions are still in progress. But for our stakeholders, we will have a nice shopping complex at Fairview through this initiative. We entered into a partnership with Swaziland Building Society as well, whereby we got finance to develop Mkosi Township, which is a residential township for phase 1. So during the year, because of COVID, we had like a 2-year stall in everything. So we had to re-engage the bank to restructure our loan, our agreements, so that it remains viable. The construction of Bosco Bridge was also facilitated through the PPPs and the PFIs. And we did engage, and we were granted authority to be able to engage with the contractor to build the Bosco Bridge and a couple of municipality roads using innovative way of funding the project under PPP. The rehabilitation of Stanley Street, I should state that all the projects that I'm naming now are part and parcel of our IDP. So we are following our IDP in constructing all these developments. But I should state that funding of the IDP has been a challenge. So that's why we've had to ensure that we deliver through innovative ways. So we coordinated and conceptualized the rehabilitation of Stanley Street in Gwane Park through the private finance initiative. It was also financed through quite an innovative way of financing of infrastructure. Not all the projects that I have named have not been funded through the conventional manner of funding. We are also in the process of an energy-saving smart street lighting. We've conceptualized, coordinated, and gone out to tender for it. The process is still underway. So I'd like to say to our stakeholders that they should watch the space. Some innovative and quite current innovations will be seen around the city towards lighting and energy usage. We manage, with regards to information dissemination, we like to lead from the front in that we'd like you to see us. We'd like you to engage with us in all the forums that you prefer as our stakeholders. So we have a newspaper in this year at the review. We had 102 newspapers that articles that came out in our Manzini news. We also had quite a number of public education on city rules, regulations, and how the city functions, and how you can engage with us better. We also have social media platforms, and the municipality managed its social media presence by introducing Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So we'd like you to engage with us. I think we're also on Instagram as well. Please engage with us in whatever manner that you prefer, but we are actively on all these platforms. As part of our information dissemination, we hold these AGMs without fail. And we appreciate your presence. We had 46 stakeholders at our last IGM. And live streaming was the AGM of last year was live streamed, and quite a number of viewers were there and comments that actually go us as well. The annual report was distributed as it's distributed now, so we'd request you to please engage. Customer survey 2020-2021, the municipality wanted to find out how satisfied our customers are. And the response that we got 368 responses, and we received over 90% of these were from our ratepayers. And we thank you for partaking. But the overall satisfaction rating was 85%, which was an improvement from the previous one, which was 61%. As a city, you can't work alone. You need to work in collaboration with other towns and cities as well, of different sizes, of different locations, and of different cultures. So we've managed in the year under review to sign an MOU with our Matsapa partner, because we feel that Matsapa is so critical, because we sort of share the same spatial space. So our engagement and our training would actually better the quality of lives of both residents of both cities in service delivery. We've also now signed with Lancaster City, which is in the US, and the question would be, why find the US? And yes, because we are being global, and different continents, but same challenges. So we are learning a lot from these. Support initiatives for the vulnerable groups. I'd state that about 108 children and young people continued to receive various types of assistance. We should say that as a municipality, we are very big on this, and we'd like to request right now for you as our partners to partner with us as we change the children's lives. There's a lot that is going on with young children, with the youth, out of school youth, in school youth, and in another forum we'll be able to unpack. So whoever is interested in engaging, please engage us on this. We also supported initiatives for girls and young women. Another new, it's not new, but we are now actively in the space of vulnerable groups. As a city, the first stakeholder that we identified are the elderly. We felt that the elderly in our space are lonely, and there are no activities that are there for the elderly. So we have now an elderly health day, and we have hosted it successfully in this year under review, and 120 elderly stakeholders came through, and it was quite a joyous day. We also have support initiatives for the destitute and the indigent, and Christmas hampers were put together for them as well. Gender program, there's a gender program that is currently in play. We partnered with the Commonwealth local government, and we are still, I'd like to say, in the process of growing that portfolio. of empowering women and girls. We've also established a boys club because we do not want to leave the boys behind. And we have 2 boys clubs that have been established within our space. With regards to human capital management, training and development has been ongoing. There has been a turnaround strategy that we have implemented over the years. As I had said in my preamble, that there are quite a number of structural changes that we've made. So the turnaround strategy has been one of them, and currently underway. 6 employees have been trained on quite a number of issues. Let me not say 6, but quite a number of trainings were conducted on this year under review. Under performance management and development systems, this happened, and mid-year assessments happened, and an annual assessment were conducted. I should state that in the municipality, all of us are assessed. So there's an employee assistance program, there's a wellness activity program. Issues of mental health have been big after COVID, so much happened. So we are ensuring that our mental health is worked on. There was a man in Daba, there's always a man in Daba because we're predominantly male in our municipality. There's also a Women's Day, I should state, but wellness activities are prioritized. With regards to quality quality assurance, we continued as a municipality to implement the compliance monitoring of ISO 9001 and our of 2015. So our quality management system is all still running, and we managed to scoop quite a number of awards for the year. And we really, I'd like to appreciate the team for ensuring that we remain the leaders in our space. With regards to legal services, there were 4 major legal matters this year. IntelliPark versus the Manzini Municipality. This is a case of the IntelliPark and the statue of Somhlolo that is up there at Somhlolo Park. Then Municipality versus Toli Shabang, which is a resident of Moneni case, and Ayanda Kakula versus the municipality, and Mishak Lamini and others versus the municipality. This is a rating case. We managed to coordinate 12 statutory council meetings and 16 special meetings. I should state again that you are invited to our statutory meetings of council. They are held every last Thursday of the month, and every stakeholder is invited to come and be part. With regards to nuisance abatement and security services, what's important in the city is safety and security. So we, as a municipality, ensure through night response service that we are there. We managed to action about 108 nuisances reported at night. The nuisance that is reported at night is normally nuisance caused by noise pollution. Control of stray animals, we had in the year 858 stray cattle that were moved from the city and impounded. control of illegal vending and trading, we had 6,456 cases of illegal trading and illegal motor crime prevention engagement. We have a crime prevention team, which is a collaboration of many stakeholders in our space. With regards to infrastructure services, the municipality continued to carry out its mandate in far as basic urban infrastructure services is concerned. We installed a high mast light, might be one for the year, but it's a lot in the, it has an effect in the post-COVID era. We redesigned our road infrastructure citywide. We rehabilitated, are in the process of rehabilitating our Manzini market. We upgraded our fleet management system, and we constructed a waiting area in our filter clinic. We do have a clinic that has a doctor and nurses, for those that do not know, in our premises, and we call it the filter clinic. We constructed the Penry Park toilets, constructed the rehabilitation of selected city roads and the bridge, as I had stated, and the contractor is A.G. Thomas. We're in the process of constructing Samuel Bridge, which is in Ngwane Park, but couldn't complete it this year because our contractor had challenges, and we have since terminated their contract. We installed LED traffic lights at the hub post office and SNART buildings. With regards to urban planning and community development, the key to urban planning or spatial planning is the objective is to promote, create and coordinate urban development through policy regulation whilst facilitating development of human settlements. This is usually the most challenging part of being a city official, because most of the time you swim against the tide, because most residents don't understand when you tell them that you cannot build what you want to build, but you have to build according to our town planning scheme. So we'd like to engage with you more on that one. So on the year we had 10 special consent applications that were received. We also had subdivision applications that were processed as well. Cemetery establishment, I think we're all aware that currently our current cemetery is towards a close. So we are urgently putting together and engaging on a multi-burial cemetery that will be at the Manzini Golf Course. We're going back to that golf course where there's space, and we want to have a state-of-the-art art cemetery which will be multi-burial, which means all cultures, all traditions will have space to bury. The layout has been completed. We also have started, and we also provided recreational parks with park furniture. We are in the process of establishing a Manzini weather station. While we are prioritizing this one, we are noticing that there is climate change, and climate change is coming with very different weather conditions. So as a city, we need to be able to predict what the weather is going to be. We are currently reviewing our town planning scheme, and stakeholders are being engaged. With regards to economic development, socio-economic development, we had like 3 flea markets. We also had a street vendor day celebration that happened and was a success. We've also held International Persons with Disability Day, which was also a success. In terms of human settlements development, the Moneni Urban Project is still under process, and very soon it will be done. The provision of water and sanitation for informal settlements in Morey Camp was done, and quite a number of processes happened there with dilapidated structures. Under environmental health and social welfare, quite a number, laboratory services, laboratory accreditation was in the process, but it's since been done. At the laboratory, we have water analysis, food analysis, and hand sanitizer testing. So in the year under review, we have 505 and 797 water that was collected and tested, and hand sanitizers from the shops are also tested to find out if they are truly authentic. Food hygiene inspections were done. On the year under review, 592. Residential inspections were done, 199. Vegetation overgrowth control was also inspected. I should state there that that is where we're having the most challenge. Waste collection and disposal was also facilitated, and healthcare risk waste was collected, and we have a skip services which was also facilitated. We also have vacuum tanker services that are there for you as our stakeholders to use. We also have cleanup campaigns. We had about 4 of them to sensitize our community on what to do, when and how. With regards to municipal HIV and AIDS program, we continue. We have a center, we have the Lam Velase Center there, where we test, we counsel, we distribute condoms, we have ART services, and we have prevention of mother-to-child transmission. The activities under this unit continued, and we reached quite a number of stakeholders from Manzini and outside the city. Social welfare services, we do have social centers, and we take care of children. We have 7 of them, and we have a feeding program. We provide them with 1 meal a day, and they're about 1,364, but they vary from this number to 1,500. And within the centers, we also, as a city, provide an early childhood program, development program, because we realize that with children, you need to be able to give them the foundations of learning. So all in all, that is a synopsis of our activities as a city. And there's a lot more in front of you in the report. To end, our challenges. We have many, but I believe that we will ride over them over time. The first one, we encountered challenges that include the implementation of a turnaround strategy, the low payment of rates and increased bad debts, constrained user fee charges against escalating service delivery costs. That's also a very big issue. COVID-19 various outbreak, political riots and unrest, illegal dumping, and non-compliance to city regulations. This is just a few of many challenges, but today we're not here about challenges. But I'd like to thank you for giving me your ear. We'd like to engage you more on issues that maybe they touch your industry or you personally, because I believe that as a municipality, we are a municipality for the people. That being said, I'd like to thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, CEO, for that articulate presentation. So clear, so precise. Siyabonga kakhulu. Another round of applause to the CEO. Thank you. Thank you. Before I request the Finance Director to come forward, I would like to recognize presence of the Deputy Mayor, Councillor Sandile Nyaweni, who has also joined us. I would like to request him to stand so that we see him and clap for him. He's also councillor for Ward 5 in the city of Manzini, that being Sikunyana, Murray Camp, and Bunja Township. Siyabonga, welcome, councillor. We also have a representative from Mlembe, as well as the media. We have representatives from the media. We have the Times of Eswatini, as well as the Eswatini Observer. I want to believe Eswatini TV and Channel S are following the meeting through the live stream channel. Thank you very much. I would like at this juncture to humbly invite the Finance Director, Mr. Mfana Futi Mamba, to come forward. His presentation is very brief. That's what he promised me. And after his presentation, we shall then take a health break where we shall enjoy delicious refreshments that the mayor has prepared for us. Over to you, Babe Mamba. May we please give him a round of applause as he comes forward.
Your Worship the Mayor, councillors, CEO and management, and our esteemed stakeholders, all protocols observed. A very good morning to you all. The program director has already said that mine will be a short one, where I will be presenting the financials for the municipality for the period ending that ended 31st March 2022. The contents of my presentation will just look briefly over the overview of the year under review. I think it will be short there. Then we'll be looking at our financial statements, where we'll be looking at the statement of revenue funds, as well as the financial position. Then I will briefly touch on the payment rates platform or revenue platforms that we have within the municipality. Due to the limited time I have, maybe we'll jump straight to the overview, where we have to say that in terms of finances, this has been a very challenging year, where we have seen most our revenue lines taking a downward trend, and this has impacted negatively on our cash flow as a municipality. We do need to have a healthy working capital for us to sustain operation within the municipality, but sometimes we will have a number of issues with regard to that. Probably that will be due to the fact that we are now in the post-COVID-19 era, whereby we had quite a number of disruptions in our operation, and this is really impacting us. We have seen actually an increase in terms of our account receivable during the financial year. This has actually prompted the municipality to create a huge provision in terms of our bad debts, which we will see as we go through the financials. And also, we can say that we have been seeing somehow a positive trend when it comes to other sources of revenue. Our stakeholders will now and again said, why don't the municipality actually tap on other sources of revenue rather than relying solely on the payment of rates for its operation? So when we see actually an upward trend in other sources of revenue, that somehow raises an optimism within the municipality to say, probably in the coming years, we might be having better years, so where we will not only be relying on rates, but we'll have other sources where we might be getting our funds to ensure that we are able to survive as a municipality. Looking at our income, or our statement of revenue funds. We are seeing a drop in terms of revenue. We will be zooming shortly in each of these income lines, but our revenue decreased by about 3% from 81 million to 79 million for the financial year. We have seen also a drop in service charges, so our user fees of about 6%. Well, this might be the bottom line, but if you look at the individual items within that line, we will see most of them are on an upward trend, but there are those areas whereby we might have taken a knock, hence the 6% decrease, which we'll be seeing shortly. In terms of grants and subvention, we took a huge drop there of about 51%, where we had about 5 million the previous year, coming down to 2.5 million this year. These are grants and subventions that we will normally receive from the government and also from our other partners that we partnered with. But it wasn't a good year for us, 2022, whereby we saw that 51% knock in terms of the grants and subvention, bringing our total income to 89.4 million for the year, a drop of about 6% from the previous year of 94.9 million. Now, if you look at the expenses line there, you will see a huge increase there of about 35%, whereby last year we had about 65 million in terms of expenses, and this year it was about 88 million. We'll realize that due to the disruption of COVID, there wasn't much that was happening in terms of operations of the municipality, in terms of programs and projects that needed to be funded. So the previous year, our expenditure was at about 65% because there wasn't much movement there. Things were at a stall, and the COVID was rampant in those days. And even though we wanted to implement some of these programs and projects, we were unable because of matters beyond our control. So this year, we had somehow to cover for those projects that needed to be done in previous years, which were not done. And also, there were a number of issues that needed to be financed this financial year, hence the increase to 88 million. At the end of the year, we had an operating surplus of about 1.1 million, which was, however, a huge drop from the 29 million that we had the previous year. Why 29 million the previous year? It was that reduced expenditure of about 65 million that we saw the previous year. Now, as a municipality, we are also structuring ourselves to ensure that we are able to survive in the future without relying on the rates. So we are innovatively trying to structure our financials so that we are able maybe to borrow if we need to borrow, and also to partner with other partners for the delivery of some of these projects. So you will see as we continue with the statement of revenue funds that even though we might have that operating surplus, we are trying also to pay off some of the previous loans that we had as a municipality to ensure that we are able to tap into the financial market as well, to have for those funds we will use to construct roads that need to be constructed, or new projects that need to be undertaken by the municipality. Hence, you will see our finance cost there for the year eating that operating surplus and almost breaking even there, but a little bit having a deficit for the year of about 800,000, which was a huge drop from last year, where we had a surplus of about 25 million. But that surplus, as I've said, was created by the fact that we had a very much reduced expenditure during that year. Okay, if we can zoom into our revenue for a bit, where we will see that when it comes to the raise revenue, 9 million. But when you look at the general rates, that is the commercial rates as well as the residential rates, those figures are comparable between the 2 years. If you see that last year we had about 49 million and this year is also 49 million. So even though we had a general valuation, but there wasn't much in terms of movement in those figures. But if you look at the government rates, we saw a drop about 19% of the government rates, from 31 million to 25 million. The major cause of this drop on the government rates was the fact that we had a general valuation. And we discovered during the general valuation that most of the properties that were owned by government have now been transferred to private individuals through the housing board. So there was that drop there. And also due to the fact that it was a general valuation, there could be those properties which might not have been included there in the valuation roll. Hence, we're not able to build properties, but we are currently doing a supplementary valuation. I hope our stakeholders will be informed shortly if they also want to take part in that supplementary valuation, which will actually correct that situation whereby there is that drop. We hope we will have quite a number of properties that will also be included there that belongs to the government. When it comes to penalty interest, last year there was a waiver in terms of penalty interest. We all know that we were going through the COVID era at that time, but during this year, 2021, 2022, some of our stakeholders, especially the ratepayers, continued not to pay their rates. And according to law, we had to actually charge penalty interest on unpaid rates. So you will see that our debtors book is quite high. If in one year we could have about 3.9 million in terms of penalty interest. This is what has prompted the municipality to relook at the issue of the debtors that we have, to say maybe in our financials, we'll see this maybe if we come to, when we go to the balance sheet, maybe our financials, we need to disclose those receivables that the probability of collecting them is quite high. That is to say, if there are rates that might have accumulated pre the COVID era and they still remain unpaid now, we might need to pass a provision with regard to those. And we pass quite a huge provision, which you might see when we come to the expenses regarding the unpaid rates, so that we are able to actually disclose those rates which we feel that there is a probability that they might be collected within the shortest space of time from now. So that's how our revenue is. And also, if you look at the service charges, which we said they decreased by about 6%, you will realize that most of them are on an upward trend, which is a good thing to us because we have been looking at the trend over the past 3 years now. They are all on an upward trend. This is to say now the municipality is able to tap in other revenues beside the rates, which is actually a good thing, because then we'll have that much needed working capital to ensure that we're able to sustain the operations of the municipality. But there is just one income line that I will want to talk about, the one for bad debt provision. I think the one at the end there, whereby last year we had a recovery in terms of the bad debts. This is to say most of our major ratepayers were able to pay the rates, with the government also coming through paying the rates towards the end of that financial year. So we're not able there to raise much in terms of bad debt provision, but we had a reduction in terms of the provision, which was a 2.3 million. Unfortunately, this year, there is nothing in terms of that reduction in provision, but actually there was an increase in provision that we put in the expense. Hence, you will see that it looks like last year we had much in terms of income, but that increased income last year was caused by that reduction in bad debt. But if you look at this year, it looks like we did better. If you will take out that line, you will see that it looks like we did better when it comes to other sources of revenue for the year. Now, let us look at the expenses side. We have said that they increased by about 35% from 65 million to 88 million. We are a service providing institution. So we are not a profit-making institution, but we are a service providing institution. So when you see an increase in terms of expenses, this is not to say maybe money is used unfairly or is used inappropriately, but when the money is being used, this is to say at least there is service that is being delivered to the people. There isn't money that is just put there for decoration. Money is being used to provide services. If you look at the services that were provided during the year, you will see our maintenance costs increasing by about 52%, from about 2.8 million the previous year to about 4.2 million this year. So you will realize that during the year there was so much rain and our roads were being destroyed and needed to and in terms of maintenance. So you will see that maintenance line increasing by 52% was actually responding to the issues that were on the ground. Also, during the year, we had an expense that we incurred as a municipality of about 3.2 million, whereby we had to pay exit packages to some employees who exited the organization. I hope you might have heard the CEO talking about the turnaround strategy that is being implemented implemented at the time by the municipality. So we are structuring ourselves to ensure that services are actually provided in a better way to all our stakeholders. And also the organization is looking at ways of organizing itself so that those services will be provided. So there are some employees who will be exiting this organization on a voluntary basis, and there are those that will be engaged to ensure that we provide the best of services. So we're to pay that amount of 3.2 million from those exiting employees. We also incurred a once-off expense of about 3.6 million for the year on maintenance of electricity. This is a debt that actually accumulated at the time when the current EEC was still called the electricity board. It's a historic expense, this one. But because the municipality is currently innovatively trying to ensure that there are better ways of providing the issues of electricity within the city and our consumption is controlled, we need first to put on the infrastructure that will ensure that, which included the payment of that historic debt of about 3.6 million. We also had to pay about 2.2 million to our retired employees for the year. But I want to talk about this expense, the bad debt provision. We had to realize that our debtors book was increasing. We had to put in a huge provision in our accounts of about 7.3 million to ensure that whatever we put as accounts that we expect to receive during the year are actually those receivables that have got the highest probability of being collected for the year. So we had to raise our provision by about 7.3 million, raising the total provision in our accounts. If you go to our account, you'll see that our total provision actually increased from 25.3 million to about 33 million, because we had to put in that 7 million to cater for those debts we feel the probability of being collected within the shortest space of time is not that high. Not to say that we are writing off those debts, but to realize that probably these are debts that might have accumulated pre the COVID era. So if they remain unpaid until now, so you can see that the probability of collecting those is actually diminishing by the second. But we will be ensuring that we invoke the provisions of the Rating Act also in collecting those debts that still remain unpaid. So our total establishment costs here, you will include issues or other issues of operation here, like waste management, utility charges, and other expenses. They increased by about 24%, from 24 million to 30 million. And our overgrowth management, I've already said that there were so much rains during the year, also increased by about 83%, from 1.2 million to 2.1 million. And lastly, it will be our salaries and wages expenses, which has actually increased by only 1%. Even though during the year we had a cost of living adjustment of about 3% in terms of salaries. But if you look at the net effect there in terms of salaries and wages, it was only 1%, due to the fact that there are those employees who are also exiting the organization. So it has that net effect. That's why you wouldn't see maybe that cost of living adjustment, the entire 3%. These are some of the commentaries of the expenses that I've already talked about. Maybe we, excuse me, maybe we could go to the statement of financial position. For now, I will just take a few lines there. Because most of the issues I've talked about. If you look our property, plant and equipment, we saw an increase there of about 10 million, and from 285 million to 295 million. This was about 4% in terms of the increase. The previous year, if you were to compare 2020 and 2021, there was nothing much in terms of increase in the property, plant and equipment, because we're through COVID there and there was nothing much that was happening. But this year, we saw that 10 million in terms of increase. This is to say there are some projects that are happening within the city, so our assets are actually increasing. In terms of our cash and cash equivalent, we saw a reduction of about 29%, from 19 million the previous year to about 13 million this year. And our total assets increasing from 351 million and to 363 million. Lastly, we can look at the liability side, whereby we are looking at our borrowings stabilizing a bit. We had about 33 million in 2020, 15 million in 2021, and 15 million in 2022. The reason why 2021 and 2022 is actually comparable is the fact that during the year we had a loan of we had borrowings, I will say, of almost the same as the payments that we made in terms of our loan. So there was that net effect there. Hence the borrowings couldn't move much, but we paid so much in terms of reducing our previous loan. Because as I said, that we are trying to restructure our financials in such a way that even if we want to ensure that we increase our borrowings, we will be able to do so. And if you look at our gearing ratio at the moment, it's quite a friendly one, so to say. It's quite very low, which is to say we could be able even to add more in terms of borrowing, and also to partner with other stakeholders who can help us in ensuring that the projects that are lined up at the IDP, we are able to deliver those. Let me conclude my presentation by maybe looking at the payment method that are there. We have talked about the issue of ensuring that we have got enough in terms of working capital to sustain our operation. We've got enough funds as a municipality to ensure that the projects that are in the IDP are able to be delivered on time. So we are actually requesting our stakeholders to partner with us in this regard. So we have quite a number of platforms that you can use as a stakeholder if you want to transact with the municipality. If you want to make sure that your obligations are paid timeously, we have put in place those platforms, and want to also leverage on the fourth industrial revolution to ensure that whatever technology that is there that can be used to make transacting with the municipality as seamless as possible, as nice as possible. We want to ensure that we include that technology. So if there is any method you feel that maybe is convenient for you, but the municipality is not putting in the platform, make sure that you alert us on that, because we want to make sure that whenever you pay, you can do that at the comfort of your home or of your office, to ensure that nothing is disrupted while trying to pay your liabilities with the municipality. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention. I thank you, Program Director.
Thank you very much, Finance Director. Exactly 12 minutes. So you kept your promises. Another round of applause to the Finance Director. Okay. Siyabonga kakhulu. Clearly, it's not a rosy picture in terms of revenue inflow. The director spoke about a drop in grants and subventions, 51%, and generally a drop in rates revenue. So we need to really engage on these issues, try to come up with innovations, ideas on how the municipality can innovate so that we get out of the situation that we are currently in. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time we took a short break. The Honorable Mayor would like to invite all of us to refreshments. We'll all move to that room to my right. We will be led by the front row, and thereafter the other rows will follow. I think His Worship the Mayor's table will be the first to move to that room, followed by the table on my left, and then lastly the table on my right-hand side. Thereafter, the rest of us will follow. Just a 20 minutes break, and then we'll come back and proceed with the program. When we come back, we'll give you an opportunity now to comment on the presentations, both presentations, ask questions, get clarity, you need clarity, contribute ideas, innovations. How can we move forward? How can we get out of the revenue situation that the Finance Director has painted? At this juncture, may I request the Honourable Mayor to lead us to refreshments. Thank you. Thank you very much. It is now time for comments, questions. If you want to commend us for a job well done here and there, you are almost welcome. Not even almost, you are more than welcome to do that. We'd really appreciate those comments. I'll see by a show of hand. If you want to say something, if you want to comment, please just raise your hand, mention your name and perhaps your organization that you are representing, and then make your comment. We have someone who will be moving the microphone. Wise man, are you here? Tabile? Okay. Thank you very much. Ngidawubona nje ngesandla kulo latawufuna khuluma. Thank you very much, honorable MP.
Asibonge program director, sinibingelele nonke bekunene ma stakeholders nama MPs lesinawo. Libito lami ngingMichael Leleni Masuku, MP wasemkhiweni lephinze ngibe ku portfolio member yaka housing. Cha kungaba kubonga nje ezosinikeza lelithuba. Encela lapha kuma financial singete saba kakhulu because of bebe sinala ama slides to khona kwadadisha kahle then sikhona ukucomment kahle for me ikakhulu, but nje ke overall ubonga lo mhlene wendawo nengimanzini nana nathi kuyasithokozisa kakhulu ubona ukuthi Manzini uyachubeka uya embili imigwaco yenu noma leminye ise naloko lenako tikhalo but nje improvement inkulu. Kutakhiwo letiningi siyabona ukuthi idolobha niyali expanda, siyalibona lwelela ngesha kwemzimnene and kuhle kakhulu. Sekungaba ukuthi nje ngabe le ndlela ema satellite ngoba nawubuka lesive nje nawusuka uwela lo mzimnene nayatakhiwo taka Coopers lapha ngesheya kuyofika kule ya filling station cishe sethi sonzele. So yabona ama business ayewela. Then labantu sekufuna athi ehle bus rank noma sothengele ngesheya kufuna awela umfula edenga la ngabe lidolobha likuthini kukwenda lokho nala la sikhona khona kunana tolo elikhula ngendazi bo spa kunatiyale lapha endazi la kuna okay khona kuno F&B. Uyasibona lesive ukuthi siqala nale dolobha but iplan yelidolobha ithini kukwenda kuphumelele lokho la yayikwendile naye ende naye isethele yagcina ingakasebenzi. So now because ngicabanga wonke umuntu ingcono yakhe seyivulekile lokubuka lokuthi kwakuyini ipurpose ye satellite. So now as labantu betangala umuntu nje kumadima ukuthi setela sekusitala bethi imoto kakhulu but lo sitolo langenhla baluthi F&B nje ukhashane nongamna kahle from bus rank. So ngathi nje ngiloko sesanibongela lokuthi nisebente kahle singasithokozisa nekubona lokusebentela lokunje kaloko niku maintain kungabhidli kuphela ngoba lokuphinza kusibuyisele emuva lokuthi into sesiyendile bese kuthatha isikhathi lesithe ku maintain lapho nase kufuna ukuthi sikulungise either sivale ama potholes ukhathi sekusibita imali etsedulu kakhulu. Ngathi nje going forward kulama satellite ezisibona vele takhiwo imarket esiyayibona niyayivusa but kunalesakhiwo beku agriculture khona solo nje ngicabanga ukuthi kuvusa Manzini lokho ukuthi ke kuze kuthi abantu bakhone kuba ne free movement na ngiyalokhuzana lenda SPM metro ukhashane kakhulu yabona abantu basebenza le ndasi baningi kakhulu icasheni kabhayet ngale but basuka le batogibela la se konke nje lokho kahle lena le tingabhayet bacashela khona kuba ningeti transport but nje iplan ya yelidolobha ithini ngathi ngalama fishane emagama ngibonga lokho siyakudumisa kakhulu kwendeka kaManzini endike sengigcina ngci kungaba nginayo indzaba yase yalapha ngesheya Nazarene lelo kulanga emva kwethu kuhle kakhulu siyabuka nawu uthi nje ufika laseClean uyathi ofikile eluve emkhiweni ufikile emafutheni in 3 minutes. So then lapha eNazarene still ngabe lidolobha liyakubona ukuthi if nakhona singaphinde sibe nana kulanga emva kwethu lapha eNazarene ngoba acishe ihlangana imigwaco lemkhulu lapho and sesigcina sishaya la madoda mina vele ngisebenzisa yona nakhona silama potholes ngizaba nje ukuthi kungasita kakhulu selidolobha noma ke siliyo kuze ukuthi umuntu nalo agcine efike ngesikhathi netingoti dinciphe if lama sekli as control njengale. Ngibonga kakhulu leli thuba basi.
Thank you very much, Mhlonishwa. that's Honorable Member of Parliament Michael Masugu. He's basically commending the municipality for a job well done in terms of infrastructure development, but he's also raising issues relating to traffic flow and movement of people around the city. He's touching on issues of satellite bus rank and other issues. We will respond to the comments and questions, but we'd like to take Maganqumalo.
Thank you, MC. Good morning, ratepayers and all stakeholders. My name is Vicky Ngumalo. I've got a few questions. I hope I won't bore people. First of all, we would like to commend the fact that Council was able to call the parliamentary committee in to share all what is happening in the city and be able to take it back when we have complaints to Parliament to deliberate on. I'd like to thank Council for having made an effort in providing Triloni Park with the toilets. That had been my prayer over years. I'm very happy with that and thank you very much.
Okay.
I had us talking about the parks. The furniture in some parks is very pathetic. I think Council has to go back and try and see what furniture they could use rather than the ugly looking wood that we have. In my area, Ward 8, the park site is not favorable at all. It's right in between homes. Our children cannot go and play. You can't play football next to other people's home. The filter clinic is a favorable place, but not for everybody. The elderly people who are also ratepayers are made to pay, whereas the government doesn't pay, doesn't make elderly people pay at the hospitals. So that is not very good for the old people. More is pagani for elderly people. You can't expect me, over 60, to be paying at each and every spot that I park my car. As it is, I, for one, have made my own way of doing things. I park my car in one spot, then move around. Finance, I want to punch a hole. We've been told about people who stole 11 million, of which I'm one of them. Up until today, nobody has ever said anything about the 11 million. We've had one person asking time and again about the 11 million, and he's never been given a reply. Is the money coming back? And what are we doing with the money that has come back? I have records of the money coming back, even though I'm not sure how far it has come back. But the public has never been told that the money is dripping and coming in. Council, I know the road improvements have nothing to do with you, but I would think Ministry of Works does consult with you when they are working on the road improvements. Some areas are impassable in the morning. Ward 8's got about 4, if not 5 schools. In the morning when parents take their children to school, coming out of or inside Ward 8 is another story. Can Council be able to speak to the public after having consulted with the ministry so that we are in the know-how and we know what time to do our movements rather than being stuck on the road for more than 30 minutes just to leave Ward 8 to come into town? I'd like to pledge with Council to have a way of having evening policing. According to the law, after 10 o'clock, we are not supposed to be making a noise. 10 p.m., we're not supposed to be making a noise. to give people their rest. But the areas where people play music up until the early hours of the morning, people take out their music boxes and put them outside, and nobody thinks about the next person. We've got ailing people as well who need their break. I'm sorry to be taking long. Potential inspections. I don't know how many times we should be asking if there would be a way whereby people could be taught more about skip. In some yards, people use their yard as the rubbish pits. And in the end, you have rodents moving around from yard to the other. I'm one of the people who've complained many a times, even if you can go now, you'll find my neighbor's yard is pathetic looking. Before I become a nuisance of myself, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Magangumalo. Your comments are well noted. We will respond to some of them. I wasn't aware, though, that you are one of those who stole. You've just confessed, Mage. It's news to me. Anyone would like to comment?
Good morning, Program Director and the floor at large. My comments are pertaining the youth. Well, it's not, I think it's worth it to note that crime rate is going up and most of the people, Labenda logo, it's the youth. I want to know, as a municipal, what are you doing to advance the skills of the youth?
Okay. Thank you very much. Please just remember to mention our name before we speak so that the person who's recording.
Oh, Nolwazi Nkomo.
Nolwazi Nkomo. Thank you very much, Maginkomo. We will respond to that. Yes, I can see another hand over there.
Good morning to all taxpayers and Dolopa. So my name is Zinhle Mathebula. Ndokhulumela as a resident and as a business person. First of all, I would like to appreciate the Municipal Council of Manzini for the good work that they have done for residents, especially in terms of their customer service. Most of the time, we do actually have investments all over the country, and from the from maybe architects and all of those people, when you plan to actually build, they do advise you to see which town is the best in terms of customer service, because you can have everything, but if the council is taking so much time to respond to your needs, whatever they are doing is here there. So that, when it comes to customer service, we would like to appreciate you. Definitely, there's a lot that has been done in terms of infrastructure, which make investment at individual level and at business makes sense. For an example, then the road, Yasengwane Park, it actually makes things easily, and actually adding the lots and lots of complexes in the town, it makes it accessible, and actually it's cheaper, because when you travel to get your groceries, the money for the grocery becomes expensive because there's petrol involved in it. And then when it comes to the business, Shotsinje, in the next annual report, I'm sure the CEO will say that as Lifespan, we have decided that the headquarters will be back to Manzini, and we actually going to build it here, and it will be a state of the art, mainly because of the service and because of the location as well. So when it comes to that, there's one thing that maybe I would like the town to improve. I'm not sure whether it's the mandate of the town or as people, we should know that information. I think I then shared it with you, program director, and you said, every time you have to buy land for business, please make sure you tell us what you want to do, because there are some businesses that cannot be inside town, or the location of your plot matters. That was a very important information, and I'm not sure who's supposed to give us that information as business people and as investors in the country. So that information is very important, and I would like the council to improve in sharing such information. Then the other concerns that I have when dealing with the council, it's the matter of rezoning and all of that, and subdivisions and planning on how the structures should be. I think it has taken so much time, and we are told as residents and or taxpayers that ratepayers, right?
Yes, ratepayer.
Yeah. So, Guti, the board is still going to meet about this. Yes, we have received this. And sometimes it takes years hearing that the board has not actually concluded on this. And then you wonder what is happening, because some of these decisions we took when we wanted to invest in the town is because of the recommendations we've made years and years ago, and we're thinking they will be adopted. So Lapo, I don't even see it in the report, because what is it that we are doing about it? So that, I think it's a problem that I would actually like to see as a ratepayer and resident and a business woman in the city. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zinhle, for those comments. The long and short of it is that Zinhle is commending the municipality for good customer service. As a result, we have a huge investment that's coming our way, state-of-the-art building that's coming to our city as a result of good customer service. So we are taking that one, and the others, of course. Yebo Mage.
Ngumake Siphiwe Shongwe wase Fairview North, plot 1056, a ratepayer. Asibonge kakhulu, ngithi angisukume ngiva kangcono nangisukumile. Ngibonge nabalabadzala ireport yabo bobabili CEO and financial director iyevakala. Ngiyabonga kakhulu umsebenzi lowendiwe i-council. Siyacela ngathi ngijabuliswa ukuthi kuthiwa kuta i-mall. Siyabonga kakhulu konke lokho. Iplan lekhona ngathi kungasheshisa ngoba sesifile kuhamba akuhambeki. Nale mgwaqo noma ungahamba ngala ngase Central kugcwele ama potholes, noma ungaphuma ngase Nazarene thina labadzala imkanje seyibuva sakhona. Siyabonga kakhulu kusilethela imall. My concern ngele khona in Fairview North asisalali. Kunemabhara aze angu-5 mabhara. Besicela ukuthi ungabe singabambisana sithini siyi-council ngoba kunemabhara sekude nalabantwana base-North. I-North seyiphenduke iScom. Usha nje kuyowusa solo kunemsindo kunekunatha sekubhoka necrime ke. Sebafika nje bashaya imoto in the last 2 weeks. Bafike babulala imoto, bafike nje baqhobode amafastelo bengce bangathathi nalutho. 3 were my residents. Lesibekule issue, I'm one of them. Kuthi ngabe ngasibambisana ithini ni-council. Lokunye lesikubonile nako kuyabonakala ukuthi ema-rates akabhadaleki kahle. Lesinye sizathu ngaba ngilokuthi kunabo bantu labadzala lesebabadzala labanye la sebashiywe bantwana kuletindlu labangakhoni bamba lokubhadala. Kuthi ngabe ema-elderly people angabukekeka kanjani kulama rates ngoba ema-rates awehli, instead ayakhuphuka. Noma umdzala kanganani ayakukhuphukela. Kugcine ukuthi lelikhaya lebothi nawo uhlelekile selitawuthathwa lithathelwe ama-rates bese uyanzinza umuntu lomdzala ungasathi soda unzinza ubhekephi ngoba nalomntwana lo wakushiya kulendlu akasekho emhlabeni. Kuthi ngabe singaboneleka kanjani singebantu labadzala kulama-rates ngoba phela nale income lesayitfolakala ayisenga ngoba uyakhona nangabe bowusebenta uyakhona kubhadala seyincane nayo yehlile uthi ungabe singabonekela kanjani lokunye lenye indlela mina lengiyibonako lengiyikhalisile futhi ukuthi hey sekwenteka kanjani na uye edolobheni so ubhadala na usuka kule street usuka la ufika uphindze ubhadala bekungcono le ndlela yayitolo ukuthi bengima nje ngibhadale lokuthi ngisuka la ngiyabhadala ngisuka la ngiyabhadala yini le mali yapakani ingabuyi la eCity Council ngoba vele siyahamba lokunye lebengicela ukuthi thina ema-rate payers kude indlela lengenteka ukuthi manje sithenge emakhadi eminyaka ethe lower rate ngoba phela thina sibanika baleli dolobha ema-rates ethu angafani nemuntu ochamuka le kalavumisa lawa aphakani kube nendlela lethide thina lesithola ifavor because lethu phela leli dolobha siyabonga.
Thank you very much, Mage. Is very appreciative of the development that is earmarked for Fairview, the shopping complex. It's also raising issues about paid parking in the city, which we want to. Yeah, we'll put.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor, councillors, CEO, and everyone. I greet you all. Maningi ngasengisuthi esangisakhona ikhuluma kahle. Kanti bekungcono naseselambile. Siyakhona lokukhumbula letinto. My name is Warren Paposa. I represent the Youth Chamber of Commerce here in Manzini. So basically I represent the youth in business. Firstly, I just wanted to say thank you to the municipality for creating that platform for us. It's really humbling to see that at least they care for us as the youth. Because now Boga last year, when the town, or can I say the country, was burnt down, in all honestly, needs labor shares as the youth, because we felt as if Slambile asaviwa. So I also want to also put pressure on the council. We would see let there be youth including strategies, more economically food. Abekho my programs that the council makes for us. Ngabe nje kuthiwe ne youth chamber but ku strategies the council asiko. Let us, as my sister said ngale ukuthi crime rate is going up asakhona kuhamba nsambama sesiyasaba. And futhi ngithi futhi lesiphindze sebaka on the street ngalo ukuthi the economy is bad, things are bad, but let there be inclusion of the youth. The youth is out there, they're complying, they have ideas, they have the brains, but let there be some form of inclusion. Kokuthi skone to do business with the municipality, skone kuba engage on other issues. Baslalele futhi nokuthi when we're coming to bring presentations, we should be giving preferences as the youth, not going down present idea, excess idea, I'm saying said for say tender, say it kills our morale as the youth because we do have the ideas, we do have the brains, but we don't have the platform. So besicela nje masipara ukuthi asilalele. Last week nje an LED strategy meeting, and there was not even a sentence about youth inclusion, mental health issues, because those are the issues that are affecting the youth today. So the municipality should create those platforms when it comes to mental health, motivation. Kuti ban laba graduates laba funzi laba bancane ngiphi direction masipala la ngabasita kuyo. And also to the councillors also, because Tishebona, they are on the ground in the wards. Akben ndlela and strategies on how to engage the youth, on how to bring the youth in these meetings. Because lo usibona nje lana asifika na 10 let's say youth, let's learn, and we are the bulk of the population of the town. So akube khona strategy, information, and khona engage, which we should do these meetings starting from the ward level food. Goes in corn, cause jenamje angisayi ku IDP strategy said. Why? Because now I might get there and there's no value add for me as the youth. So nagnale inclusion and the councillors take it to the ground and try and create that awareness. Because Maspara went and engage us formally. Ngicabanga ukuthi the voting ashintsha. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. You've said quite a mouthful. We are noting. But I also note the confessions in these meetings. In this meeting, I'm sorry. Perhaps it's the power of the prayer that we had when you opened. We do note the confessions. Ngaphinzi nishise. Thank you very much. Yebo.
Siyavusela. Ngustele Khumalo, ngibhala indzaba but ngiphinze ngibe sakhamuti kaManzini. Gripe or concern is the municipal's bathroom la dolopeni. Most of them they are closed during the peak hour kanti phela public inengi lapho. It results in lesive lesinye sigcine sisebenzisa yona le property, the wall fences, to relieve themselves, and then sekuyanuka depreciate le value ya lama properties. More especially the President Center, it's something else. Can the municipality please deal with that? Thank you.
Thank you, Kumalo, journalist. Ngabone kwengibanda umpophe journalist. Yebo, Babel Kele.
Program Director, Honorable Mayor, Deputy Mayor, my councillors, CEO with management, Sivusele Honorable MP, ongema stakeholders ne media, siyanvusela kamala Musibusiso Lukele, ete capacity by resident yakaManzini. Kwekuqala nje we really appreciate all umsebenzi lo wenziwe nguMaspala. Yebo kona is true ukuthi ngeke bakhona kusenetisa sonke ngekufana, but we really appreciate the improvement lesiyibonako nekubambisana nema councillors siyabonga emawadi kuyasebenzeka infrastructure. We really appreciate kunengi lesingathi kwendekile. Regarding this infrastructure singacela njengoba ngibona ngathi ukhona umhlonishwa lo representer emadolobha portfolio, ucela nje asicelele phela le kahulumende ukuthi bamane bayikhulise le subvention because kuyabonakala ukuthi le msebenzi le into walidolobha mningi kakhulu yethi lama funds mancane. Take for instance nje lo mgwaqo lo bypass Mavuso, umgwaqo lo busy kakhulu kuhamba ama truck, but you still understand ukuthi lo mgwaqo lo wahulumende but yet unakwa nguMaspala. So sicela nje ukuthi asicelele kakhulu kule funding ye subvention for kusebenta noma ku improve imisebenzi lo. One last thing sitawucela lokho ukuthi njengoba bakhuluma iyouth ikhona, it will be a good thing lokho ukuthi le youth council ibe revived, ibuyele kuqhubeke kubanjiswane nayo ne development and empowerment. Ngicabanga ukuthi mhlambe going forward there will be a great improvement. Coming back to the issue yakapakani, we will kindly request, we don't know maybe the formula kwanyalo, but in the near future vele le mali yakapakani akube ngiyo le funda lama projects ale migwaqo especially la town specifically vele it must be noted ukuthi le mali yakapakani isebende lokudevelopa le migwaqo. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think at this juncture I would like to request that we hold any further comments and allow the CEO to respond to the ones that have been made. And thereafter, we shall take another set of comments and questions. So at this point, I would like to request the CEO to respond to some of the comments.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our stakeholders for the reactions, I call them reactions, to our presentation. We really appreciate, and I believe that we can only grow the city through you. I'll start by the first one, by Mhlonishwa Masuku. Indzaba yema-satellite bus ranks. As a city, I had mentioned that we have pillars, themes to our IDP, and one of them is infrastructure development. So within that, there are strategies, each theme, and under e-transport is in a transport study. We've got quite a number of studies. Simbona Manzini is growing, and there is a transport issue, and there is a connection issue. And with government investing a lot in ensuring good road infrastructure, bypassing Manzini, the standard, nathi silapho. Ngisingasho ukuthi we do have a traffic study le identify a couple of satellite bus ranks, but we're not quite ready to deliver them for now because state of readiness is ikhulumisa tintfo letinengi. But we will share that strategy with you, our stakeholders, through the ward meetings. And lama comments la phumako lana ayasita kwakha i-agenda for when we go to the wards. Interchange yase Nazarene, I think it's been there in the works since 2009. I think that's when we completed it as a city. So now you even engage a prioritization and funding. But with all that's going on, we have to go back to the drawing board and revise that. But let's now go show a city is not built in one day. It's there in the strategy and it's going to happen eventually. In Zaba, my parks and the park furniture, I think it utilize the head of the behold. We've had quite a number of comments of residents from this particular ward and all the other wards thanking us for the street furniture. There's something about change that we all need to know. Change comes, innovation comes, infrastructure comes. It doesn't make everyone happy. So different people, different ways, and we will engage what the community would like to see. Because half the time the solutions do not come from our desks, they come from the community. So we will engage and we believe that the ugly will turn into pretty. And with regards to the filter clinic and the issue of the elderly, elderly with regards to pagani, elderly with regards to rates and payments, and elderly with regards to payment in our medical facilities. We've just passed an indigent policy, and in order to effect it, we have to align with my national laws. Asgan Koshwa, you are dear to our hearts because everyone will get there. Zama, and lama comments lamanye that we can effect immediately, we do effect, so long as they align with policy. So angisho ukuthi indzaba ma rates sayibuka, we're looking at it, and indzaba yepagani for residents and for the elderly will be sitting on our table. I'm not making any promises, but we're getting it. Indzaba 11 million. As far as the city knows, no money was stolen. Connection. It was just a long-term investment leyendeka during the time that I would not like to get into the facts. Lengakusho ukuthi cha asiyati indzaba ukuthi imali ibuyile. I'm excited ukuthi I'll engage our ratepayer make Vicky. Engabi khona sitawujabula. What has happened though over I think kwandeka ngabo 2014 2015 kwaba nabo 950 something thousand lababili lababa bakwathiwa ama dividends laqhamuka from that money because yangena just for stakeholders to know 11 million wangena ku long term investment ye property in South Africa. So future generations would definitely benefit from it. My maturish. It wasn't for that at the time. So I think we need to clear that. And magangena lama dividends. Babe sebayabophana le South Africa ukuthi no dividends have to be paid. So sise lapho nje thina will stay and we'll watch, but I can assure you ngabo 2060 it will come. Gonna issue a evening policing. The biggest issue that we have as a municipality is that within our mandate we do not have all the other agencies that directly under us. For global municipalities, ukhanza ukuthi kunemaphoyisa, there are city police in mandate, water services, electricity under them. We operate differently. We operate with partnership. So there's only so far that we can go in terms of policing. So with all that is, I had presented that we have a crime prevention team, and with the town prevention team, we have the police. Today, angibaboni. And so during these meetings, with the noise, there's only so far we can go. Then after that, we need to hand over to Emapoisa. But we are still knocking on the national doors. I think our director knows that we do want to have a municipal police force and be able to transact at that level because Manzini is growing and Manzini has many global city challenges, so we need to operate like a global city. In Zabaye Youth, we've just started a clear new chapter ye youth. We were working on youth issues, but they were not integrated. We've integrated, we have a clear plan. But in order to deliver what is really needed, we do need the youth to engage with. Because in our offices, we think we are engaging and it's satisfying you, only to find that actually it's not because the needs do not integrate. So can we engage better with the youth? We have started a chamber with them, and through them we'll put together a policy, a strategy that will integrate them in everything that we do, but we need to work together with them. I should state that in the next AGM we'll be clear, we'll just state where we are with them, but we appreciate you. They are 70% of the population, so kusebenda without them is no work. So we need the youth so much, and it's sebenda nayo. And I think a pending issue kakhulu, issue yema bathrooms. Yathi siyanota. Angisho nje ukuthi planning neyamasipala because we're here. We're planning to actually, some of the services leswa provider do not quite work, operating fully. So nalena nje one of the services that will ensure that they stick to the user fees, but we will outsource them so that they provide the service. It is also another business opportunity that will be coming up for our entrepreneurs. Angati ke but nje ngicela appreciate onke ema comments angabe khona lengushiyile that I haven't mentioned here when responding. It's not because I've ignored you. Maybe I failed to note it. But thank you very much.
Thank you very much. A round of applause to the CEO, please. Thank you so much. I think we'll take one last round in the interest of time, and then we will wrap up our meeting.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here, especially with the Municipality Council of Manzini. My name is Sitsi Etienne. I'm actually a Canadian. I've resided in Trelawney Park since 2017. And I would say that out of all the places in Eswatini, I actually love Manzini better than our fellow Mbambani, I'm sorry to say. You've done a wonderful job, and I'm actually very impressed that actually you do have other programs that some of us who are international don't recognize that you actually do in Manzini. But one of the things that I just wanted to mention was that most of us walk, and I think some of the things that are neglected are the sidewalks. And maybe that is something that the municipality can try to consider, because it does become hazardous when you're walking, especially even when you're doing your walks in the morning and you can't see. I've banged my knee several times. And so I think there's like concentration of certain infrastructure, but there's also some other things that kind of like go on the wayside. And I noticed that a lot of people actually here in Eswatini do, and it's important to include them in that aspect of even having some sidewalks for us to do some walking on. But I do commend the city. It's actually excellent. I love it. Very beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Another round of applause to those comments. She adores the city. She loves the city. And she's not saying that because comedian, by the way. She's got so much love for the city, naturally. So thank you very much. I didn't get your name, Mage. 60 Etienne. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, Nyabonga, Program Director. Actually, the comment yami nyalo ibangelwa the representative youth and business. I think as business people, there's something that we were not aware of, and I was one of them, that urban poverty exists. The reason I'm talking about it is that because we do draft policies when we're doing an employment, and we do concentrate on underserved communities, and we actually don't include the cities or around Manzini, the communities around Manzini. I think maybe, I'm not sure it's mandate, but because it's raised in this meeting, it's very important that we do have the percentage of urban poverty, so that when we make decisions, business, especially in employment, in curbing the high numbers of unemployment rate, we actually know the percentage of unemployment rate in the Council of Manzini, so that when it's time for employment, we do consider them, especially now, because we are actually all aware during the riots that business, it means they are not employed there. It definitely means that, because the business kube yase Fairview iqashe base Fairview bebange bayishise ngoba bebatowatis baqashiwe. So I think vele there is a misalignment in that, in terms of even government policies, because when they say underserved communities, and we are trying to align that as business people, but they do need jobs. Thank you.
Very, very a good comment there, Zinhle. We really appreciate that one. Zinhle is a businesswoman. All she wishes to do is to employ the youth of Manzini. as much as she can take. Thank you very much. Babe, Ndluli.
Siyabonga Program Director. Ngiwakamdluli Sibonga ngisuka ka-agriculture. Nguve kahle ke mina uthi nekudumisa nje ukukhuluma. Siyabonga lidolobha lethu liyathuthuka kuningi ngiyabona impela ukuthi kuyasendwa nema-reports mahle. But ngiyabona lokuthi kukhona lokusalako lokungenteka ukhanze ukuthi kusibuyisele emuva silidolobha sesisebenze kangaka. Kulelo office engisebenza kulo ngenyanga iyodwa si receive ema cases ebantwana laba around town labalunywe tinja letengako ku30 leti balumako letinye tato maba reporter bathi ababantu banikati letinye bathi babathi tajuva letinye ajovanga. So ubuka ema statistics ebutsatsha ebantu labafako bathi ku9 minutes worldwide kufa inqumbi yabantu. So ngivu ngathi kufuna sikubukele ukuthi ngabe sinema councillors emawadini ethu singakulungisa kanjani sihlangane nelitiko la ngakithi ukuthi itinja letikhona sigcine sidati leti around ledolobha lethu sitinganani tijove tonke yini because sisengotini. Nekwengcisa ukuthi kuleli vetako mhla ka13 nje namhla 12 na 13 sibe sijova around town sikhipha atmentelo. Bengajabula ukuthi sibe nendlela ukuthi sihlangana njani ema-councillors silungise ukuthi singasebenzisa yiphi indlela ukuthi abantu bonke beve babe khona sisitane kube ukuthi aba around town angajova. Ngiloko.
Thank you very much. Babe Mdluli is from the Ministry of Agriculture. He's saying something about stray dogs and the havoc that they cause to residents of the city. He's also informing us that there will be, do you call it vaccination? There will be a citywide vaccination that will be taking place in the next 2 weeks or so. And the appeal is that let's bring our dogs as many as possible, actually all of them, for vaccination. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Chair. My name is Mangaliso Kumalo from the Eswatini National Youth Council. Maybe kungaba ukuthi siqale ngokuthi si-upload idolobha ngemsebenzi lomhleleli wendako siyabona nema-structures lamadzala ayabhidlidwa kwakhiwa lamasha of which kungumsebenzi lomuhle seliyashintsha lidolobha lethu alisabi yibhasha saliba ngumanzini lesitamthanza thina sonke. Thank you so much for that. Maybe quickly ngaya kuna indzaba yaka youth because indzaba nami lengitsindzako kakhulu as an office lebantu labasha eSwatini. Siyave ma issues lavukako indzaba ye high crime rate edolobheni, seyindzaba ye youth unemployment, then ke seyindzaba yokuthi ye youth participation kumathenda. Maybe ngangena kakhulu kuleyo ndzaba kule youth in business indzaba awada lawo mathenda edolobheni. Ngawucela maybe CEO kusitwa ama officers akho ukuthi singaba ne meeting ne officer yakho le relevant for this. Sine strategy lesicishe singcono lesingasita lidolobha kuleti ndzaba tek awada emathenda and lamanye aye nak youth. Because lesikunoticile emathenda inqumbi awada the bigger bosses iyasala le youth. So the question is thine nawe as a council namaspara, what are we doing to capacitate le youth, to empowerisha le youth kuze itokhona ku face lama bigger bosses kulamathenda? I think kuleyo ndlela nje sitawukhulumisana nalawo ma officers. Let us just capacitate them, siba position for lama opportunities. Unemisebenzi lenjenga kuphesha boma potholes, kuhula tshani, maybe ngendzaba tabo ka building incumbi ye youth yethu seyifundzile seyinawo lawo ma skills sinayo kakhulu consent council lokuthi let us do something siba award nabo leyo misebenzi lemincane lenjengaleyo. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Youth empowerment. I think I'll take the last comment and then I'll hand over back to the CEO. After that, I'll request the chairperson for the finance committee to come forward and thank us for being here till as early as 7:30. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All protocol observed. My name is Wandile Hlechwayo. I'm a resident La Manzini. I have a few comments. Maybe some of the comments might be because I would have missed the earlier presentations, but in any case, I will just go through them. My first comment would be to ask to verify from the financial director, would say, what is the strategy of the council to tap into equity in these developments that are happening around Manzini? That I'm asking because there is this issues whereby we are talking about and the affordability or the status of income will change, and when that changes, they might not afford, but they afford it. But if then the council would then get some stakes in climate developments, and you would find that then there is a policy that would then enhance when people sabakhulile, then there's a reduction of the rates or of the fees that they need to pay that is now covered by the investments that would have been made whilst labantu basakhona kuba income legal. So to find out, does Manzini have an intention or a strategy to invest or get equity so that in the future it can also help Lama residents like Konanyalo? Why is that important? Because we're running out of the situation whereby Manzini, because you are at your working age, that's what you have to move because you cannot afford. Then so that is the thinking around the issues of equity. And then also then to find out whose strategy, I would say, in terms of the ITP or the municipal strategy, what is the direction towards digitalization of the city? Digitalization that would also enhance the issue of security, because as it's born, most of the cities, as Manzini is the biggest city that I consider in the country, and I would say probably your security cameras, your detection systems, and so on should actually be starting like a Manzini go would say we might not start full blow, but this will enhance these certain issues. Go would say analyze weekend, say cancel the issues of the emergency throughout the nights and stuff like that. If it's strategic areas, attract that's in logo. Those cameras are available in those areas. What it would then help is that you just give them a police data to say that we observed these and here's the evidence that there was such and such happenings in this area. If we would have things like that, like cameras. So, but not limited to cameras. We're talking to the issues of the youth, whereby they're talking about exclusion. So if we're talking in terms of digitalization, we would then be looking into issues of, we would say, how have we taken the IDP or the strategy and broken it down into actions that can then now be tracked and monitored throughout the implementation. What would that then do? It would be we would say every Panduk Lagamanzini can then access that action management system, database digital, to bond, oh, okay, lana. Then people will tend to appreciate and be at peace with certain things that are happening. So it helps both visibility, accountability, ne traceability of whatever that we're talking about as Manzini. Kungabi ngazuthi nasemhlanganweni we just compiled reports and come here with convenient information, but let's have some sort of real-time information that people can be able to access, like send a website, like we do go that's Boogie Weather. It's live, it's up-to-date data.
So that is almost the last one, but then
comment youth youth council yekhuluma ngekuthi inclusion youth go procurement. It's a good idea, very good idea, and whilst that is being looked in, ngingacela ukuthi it must be looked into, not excluding labantu abadala, because there needs to be some integration. We are thinking enterprise development whereby the youth can be integrated into understanding my behaviors except because ingaba equipped youth yard, but there are certain behaviors tendencies in the business that are for real. We are seven kuthiwe ungabhadalo. So what happens after that? So the person uhlelo ukuthi sithole indlela ukuthi singawa amalgamate kanjani siyende kube enterprise development, such that they can then learn from the people that have been in business, so that when they as graduate in this, they must just be limited to that. But I think enterprise development can help achieve this objective of integrating the youth faster into business.
I think those are my comments. And then lastly,
Ema stray cats, le langkela kona, Lokwacha Street, plot 555. We've got stray cats lapha. I'm available with my rodents. Kuti kwendeka in nanani. Hey, kuna makati angati kube si ongasho ukuthi banganghendleshela wona njani. Ngoba kunesiganga ngala celeni. So ngisho ma stray cats. Thank you Bazala. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Baba Hlatshayo. Ngisho ngangakhombi kani, hey, you've got a serious issue yamakati that needs to be sorted out. I'd like to hand over back to the CEO for her reaction, Wiseman.
Thank you very much for your submissions once again. I just had a thought. I needed to share this with you, stakeholders, when I was making my presentation. Could say, you know, a city is built with partnership with the community. It's a two-way thing. It's not a municipality. Most of the issues dealt with at community level are easier for the municipality to deal with. So as we approach all these comments and challenges, we should know that we also, you as the community, also has a part to play. And, with regards to the dogs, that's my answer. You see, the Minister of Agriculture right now, it's 30 dogs, stray dogs. They have owners. There's someone that isn't taking care of their dogs. As much as we'd go there and have a dog catching team, which we now have, but it's the responsibility of the community. We're talking about parks, it's the responsibility of the community. We're talking about stray cats, they didn't just come. The community knows where they're from. So let's work from the grassroots going up with these urban issues. Then the issue of digitization. I'd like to say we, as a municipality, are working towards a smart cities initiatives. And a smart city is a city that is technologically smart. Yeah. Everything, all their services are smart services. So right now we're in the process of putting together. These are some of the delays that were caused by COVID. We're supposed to be there already. So we'll have initiatives, different smart initiatives for all the different components of our service delivery. So what you mentioned, Mr. Hlatshago, will be part and parcel of the package of our smart cities initiatives. But I should state that we've already started working. Our security company that's working in the city right now has installed like CCTV cameras all over the strategic areas of concern in the city. You might not know, but we know. We also have now, what do they call it, a base station in the municipality, and we're able to see and watch what happens in the bus rank everywhere in the city. We're going to come out now and we don't want to be telling you where they are, but just know that you are safe, Glamala, and you'll be safer as we grow our initiatives. Le youth, there's something that Zinhle said that I didn't react to when she asked, who are we supposed to go to when we want to find out about the development code issues, what to do, what not to do. There's a certain office that is there, an officer who just sits for the public. You can email, WhatsApp, come in person, all the platforms of communications are there, because civic education on our part is key. Because the more educated you are, the better the city grows. Yeah. And as I had said that, thank you, youth section in youth Chamber of Commerce. We really need your strategy. We do not want to reinvent the wheel. We want to grow on what is already there. So we will approach you and we thank you. But I just would like to thank everyone who's here. Thank you for your time. I know we've taken way over. And thank those that are with us virtually as well. Some of them are sacrificing their sleep because on other parts of the world it's about 2, 3 a.m., but they are here with us. And thank you very much and God bless.
Thank you so much, CEO, for those responses. At this juncture, I would like to invite the finance chairperson, Councillor Wesley Dlamini, to come forward and say a few remarks in closing, and thereafter we will wrap up our meeting. Thank you.
Sibonge, Program Director, take this opportunity to the Honorable Mayor, Deputy Emma Councillors, esteemed guests, Lasuga Parliament, Member of Parliament, management, and esteemed stakeholders, Zongengeti Kabatao. Sing Maspalas Nansanza Wunbonga, honorable stakeholders, Kufiga Gwenu. Event lena. This event actually plays a huge role in terms of kutithinesi account journey as singmasipala lagini, in terms of kuti imali tenu sitsebenza city invest kuphi na kuphi, and in terms of planning yethu kuyasita singmasipala ukuthi sisiplana ngaku based on lama comments lenwavetako lenwalethako again, they really play a huge role on that. On my issues, the youth, we'd like to note now, my issues, the youth will try to work into them gakulu, because the youth is moving forward. And gune phenomenon level as far as my issues and poverty. I think those are it's a very sensitive issue. I don't believe they still believe ukuthi within the space of masipala bakhona abantu abahluphekile, and we need to tap into that. Sibone ukuthi sibasita kanjani. Issues of LED, now issues of singayenza ukuthi sitawubuka in terms of how we invest locally ema-wards ethu nakuma-stakeholders ethu within space lesikhona. At this point, honorable stakeholders, bengicela ukunibonga ukuthi nithethe isikhathi senu neta la kule event lena nabo labasijoyinile virtually. Sithanda kubabonga nabo wheresoever they are. I think it's in text. We love to appreciate them. Lapho labakhona labasibukela khona virtually. I thank you all. I think sesingacela umfundisi lo sivulele, which is the pastor lo sivulele atasivalela ngemthandazo. I thank you all.
Thank you so much, Honorable Councillor. The councillor has already requested the pastor. Kuneligcobo ngeva ngama confessions la bekhona in this meeting.
Well, thank you so much for the program director and everybody. The Lord will bless us. Well, shall we honor God with our standing up? It's been the one who has helped us from the beginning, and it's the one who will still help us. Shall we close our eyes? Father, we thank you again. We bless you. We appreciate you because you took absolute control of the proceedings. We committed everything into your hands. And you have proved to us again that you are the one who directed the proceedings. We give you praise, we give you glory. Thank you, Father, for all the achievement the city has made. And thank you, Father, for all the reactions. Father, they have a lot of work to do. But we thank you because you are the God who can enable them with wisdom, with grace, with strength, with resources, and with cooperation from the community. We hand over things to your hands. Please, Lord, breathe over all their efforts in the name of Jesus. We commit everyone into your hands. We're looking forward to another year. Without you, we can do nothing. The Bible says it's not by power, it's not by might, it's by your grace. We ask God that we keep everybody safe, that when the next AGM time will come, everybody will be alive, everybody will be well, everybody will be healthy, and the progress will be commendable. Thank you because you have answered. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Let everybody say amen. God bless you.